connecting. We'll see what happens. 5 cannot get in the specified channel. It's not working. I'll have to have Jacob come up and fix it. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, that one's working. Okay. My advice is diversification that baked into the investment. There we go. I wasn't quite sure what Tom was saying. It was just coming out all blurby. Okay. Diversification baked into the investment. Okay, Kurt, under your humble opinion, can you give me some kind of idea what you're thinking about? So, full Woody, we just looked at Apple and we looked at Disney. No real direction whatsoever at this moment in time. Now, Finbin wants to take a look at Marvel. MRVL. Well, at least that has a direction, doesn't it? Okay, same thing. Here's the high of the year, the low of the year. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on the last 30 days? Is there something we need to take into consideration? Oh, there you have it right there. Okay, your top, your bottom, where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, down. So much for Marvel. It's going on the downside. Every text out in the past year will be up, so you're just stating the obvious. All right, thank you there, Richard. Still didn't give me a good answer, but, you know, hey, is what it is. Any thoughts on FNF? Tim the Trucker, FNF. Okay, unfortunately, Tim the Trucker, I don't do monthly options. November, December, March, June, these are all months of the year. Now, what I'm looking for specifically are companies that have increased their profits for at least 2 decades and companies that have weekly options. D. King wants to take a look at 3M. Now, 3M is a dividend. Okay, they have plenty to go for them. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All right, that looks interesting. 164.86 is the current price. Last 30 days. Now that's kind of clear to see. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at up, down. Now she's going back up again. 164. Look at the 165. It's going for 196. Well, what I'm looking for is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, I use what's called a covered call on a dividend stock just before the dividend is paid out. Now, why is that? Well, because dividend stocks have a tendency to be repetitive, meaning they do the same things over and over again. Well, hold on. Let's go back here for a second. Right here, we are looking at, this one right there. That's what I wanted. Right there we go. All these little, I don't want that there. All right. All these little green dots here. All those little green dots represents companies that have been consistently profitable for 25 years. Consistently. 1 year after another, after another, after another. In order to get onto this list, you have to have consistently increased your profits for at least a quarter of a century. So if the company's consistently profitable, they're going to be on this list. Well, this is November 2025. Okay, tomorrow is the 10th. And who do we have paying dividends tomorrow? Granger, IBM, PPG. What's coming Wednesday? KView, Target, West. Okay, when a company's getting ready to pay its dividend, the stock has a tendency to increase in value. And after the dividend is paid, the stock has a tendency to go down. So if you look at the performance of a dividend stock, just before the dividend is paid, the stock has a tendency to go up. So just knowing that gives me a little bit of an edge. I like to know when a stock's going to move because there are certain trading strategies that are more effective than others. Now, the absolute simplest trading strategy is buy the stock. That's the easiest. But there's a minor flaw with that. The minor flaw with buying the stock is you have to wait for the stock to move in order to have a profit. Well, what if there is a trading strategy called the covered call, allows you to buy it at the current price, sell it at the current price, and get a profit even before the stock moves. So why the hell not? It's a simple, safe, predictable trading strategy. I work at Merck. Thoughts? Yo, Bitcoin, GME, Coca-Cola. Okay, getting some good stuff. Keep us busy. There you go. Take-Two is a video game. Ooh, Home Depot. Brad wants to take a look at Home Depot. Sit tight. Now, so just by knowing when a stock is going to move, great. That gives me one thing in my favor. Well, number one, it's a dividend stock, which means the ones that I'm looking at have at least 2 decades of profits, which means year after year after year after year, they're consistently profitable. Well, that works for me. Second, I know when they're going to get ready to pay their dividend, which gives me an idea of when is the stock going to go up in value. Usually just before the EX date. And that's represented by these little green dots. Each one of these green dots represents a company. Lennar, Stanley Black & Decker, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Aflac, Consolidated Edison, IBM, Grainger, O'Reilly, 3M, so on and so forth. You probably heard of almost every single one of these companies. Well, because they're consistently profitable. Why not? Can you do UAMY? Crystal, I have no idea what that is. None whatsoever. Here's 3M. Let's stick with 3M for a second. Okay, here's the top, the bottom, shoots up, pulls back, now she's going back up again. The 165, 196. Let me show you this one here. Maybe you'll get an idea of what we're looking at. Well, we all know who 3M is. Well, I should say, I'd like to think we all know who 3M is. I mean, they've been around for over 100 years. They got over 5 decades of increased profits. Let's see. 164.86. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's change this to covered stock. Now, if the current price, 164.86, and I buy it at the current price, I can turn around and sell it at 165 and get a nice profit. Well, I'm buying it for 164.86. I'm selling it for 165, and I'm getting the profit tomorrow. So I'm buying it and selling it tomorrow. Now, the interesting thing about a covered call, it gives you the right to pre-sell something with the anticipation of it hitting that target by Friday. Well, remember when I said simple, safe, predictable, consistent? Well, when I said consistent, November 14th, that's this Friday. 21 November, next Friday. 28 November, 2 Fridays out. 5 December, 3 Fridays out. 12 December, 4 Fridays, 5 Fridays. Every single Friday there is an option getting ready to expire. They're called weekly options. If I buy on Monday and I sell, I would like to get my profit and be out by Friday. In on Monday, out on Friday. Ideally, does it work all the time? No, it doesn't work all the time. But it works enough to give me my 1% every single week, and that's what I'm looking for. 1% every single week. Okay, so let's keep on keeping on. So I like the 165s. There it is right there. Also, what I like about this trading platform that I'm using, it's called Thinkorswim. Okay, it's owned by Charles Schwab. It's a trading platform. It's not a software. It's just a trading platform where you go to buy and sell stuff. Stocks, options, futures, currencies, all that kind of stuff. So I want to buy one covered call on this stock and see if I can get my 1%. So when I say 1% a week, I mean 1% a week. So if I have $50,000 in my trading account, well, 1% of 50,000 is $500. Now, if I have 100,000, I'm going to want to get at least $1,000 every week. Whatever my account size is, I want 1% every single week. Okay, so let's keep on doing this. Confirm send. Let's read it and see if it sounds right. By one covered call of MMM, that's 3M. 100, which is the weeklies. 14 November 25. Now, 14 November 25 is this coming up Friday. The $165 call option against the stock at the market to open. So here's my max profit, 215. Remember why I said predictable, simple, safe, predictable, and consistent? Well, predictable, I know exactly what my profit's going to be before I even jump in. What is it costing me? The cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, is $16,285. Well, think of it this way. I'm buying or I am creating a weekly cash-producing asset. So as long as I own 100 shares or more of 3M, I have created what I call a weekly cash-producing asset. All right, so let's actually do this. Get the calculator up, find out exactly what the rate of return is. To find out your rate of return, you take the profit, 215 and 50 cents, and you divide it by the investment, 16,285. 16,285 equals 1.32%. Okay, so here are a couple of questions. Question number one, does it make sense? Buy the stock at the current price, sell it to someone at almost the exact same price I just paid for it, and if it is hitting the target, 165, by this Friday, it'll be taken away from me. I'll get all my money back, and I get to keep the profit, and that profit is a little over 1% for the week. Well, that makes sense to me. Let's save this one. First one of the week. Why not? Give it a minute. There it is. Here she comes. And there it is. There it is right there. Okay. Buy one covered call of 3M. 14 November, that's this coming Friday, the 165 call option. 215 is the profit, 16,000 is the investment. Okay, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Uh-oh. And what was the profit? The profit was 1.3. 1.3%. Oh no, what the hell? Whoops. There we go. That's last week's stuff. This is this week's stuff. Right there. Alrighty then. Let's go back to where we were. Okay, so that's 3M. Alright. What next? Apple. We took a look at Apple. We took a look at Marvell. Boeing, BA. We want to take a look at A. BA, Boeing. Here we go. Well, I'm going to say no to Boeing this week. Look at this. There's the high, the low, where it was, where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down. Okay, it's actually coming down. So It's not something I want to jump into this week, but I do want to keep my eye on it because I like Boeing. I do. So she's dropping. Great. Where's the bottom? Well, bottom's not here today, so we're going to write down Boeing, and hopefully we're just going to keep our eye on it for the next week or so till we find that bottom. All right, got that written down. RGTI. Is that Rigetti Spaghetti? RGTI. Rigetti. Hell no. Who came up with Rigetti? Nitha? If this thing's at 50 cents last year, how the hell do you think that has 2 decades of profits? Hell no. Royal Cruise Line. RCL. Okay. Your high, your low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, down. Bottom's right there. Or is it? I don't know. Let's zoom in. Okay. Got a gap down here, a gap down here. Here's your new bottom on Friday. So, is it the bottom? Because look, she's dropping. Friday, she found a new bottom, but she closed higher on Friday than she did on Thursday. So there is a possibility that that is turning around. I'm going to write it down so we can keep our eye on it. RCL. All right, can you do UAMY? UAMY. UAMY. United States Anatomy. Same thing. If this thing's at 50 cents a year ago, ain't no way that's going to have 2 decades of consistent profits. I'm just going to say no. Take Two's video. Wait! What are you talking about? James, go take the dog for a walk. Thank you. Illuminati for sure. They did it on purpose. Just buy ETFs and be done with it, kids. Kurt Miller, if you can show me one ETF that pays over 40% for the last 15 years, I'll be more than glad to put my money in there and do nothing. Really. Just keep the mess up. Thank you, Chickamole. Keep us busy. AI stocks are shaky. I don't do AI stocks. AI sucks. Thank you. AI may suck, but it is a worthy investment. ETFs are front-loading AI. Okay, Odom, thank you very much. My advice is to diversify and get baked into investment. If you could tell me which one, Kurt, I'd be more than glad to listen. But you're just spewing out stuff with no interesting information to back it up. Okay, World Free Speech. XRP is not a dividend stock. Okay, what are we looking at here? AMZN. There it is. Here we are right here. Okay. Brenda. Good evening, Brenda. Thank you, Miss Brenda. Okay, 777 Avenue. Amazon. Amazon does not have any dividends. Okay, Crystal. UAMY. Already looked at that one. All right. Dude from Iowa. Multiple lawsuits. That could be it. Brenda. Hi. First time here. New learner here. Interested in your teaching and training. Thank you. Well, you're welcome there, Miss Brenda. Mike. Thank you there, Mike. G1. UAM doesn't have a dividend. Okay. That makes sense. TV Plus. Good evening. What stock is this? Rob. UAMY. Steve-O. Oh, Sally. CCOI. Sally, what is CCOI? Cogent Communications. Well, I never heard of them. And November, December, January, April, June, December, January. Sorry, I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Sorry, Sally. Sorry, Sally. Hammer, November 25th in 2 weeks. Not text week right. Not next week. November. Okay, thank you, Hammer. Igor Die Hard. Okay, thank you. Recreation Man. D. King, thank you, you're welcome. Matt, what's happening? Sally. Oh, Eli Lilly. Jen wants to take a look at Eli Lilly. Crap. Would you believe I don't have Eli Lilly's on the top of my head? Who knows what Eli Lilly is off the top of their head? LLY, thank you, LLY. Okay, I'm going to say no to Eli Lilly only because of that right there. Two reasons. Reason number one, it's at the high of the year. Okay, well, the high of the year was Wednesday. Okay, and it's $924. Well, I don't do stocks over $300, number one. Number two, okay, here, 780 shoots up to 960. 780 to 960. Now she's pulling back. That's about it. Okay, we looked at Apple. Dina, Intel, INTC. Now, Intel, I'm going to be a little leery on also. Only because, here's your high here. She dropped, now she's going sideways. So, she's in a sideways area here. She jumped up, now she's pulled back into that sideways area. So, there's no real direction known with Intel. Zach, we looked at Apple. Odom, thank you. LA, DK, is that DraftKings? DKNG. Now, I'm pretty sure DraftKings have not been around that long. Okay? What's happening right there? New bottom for DraftKings. Okay, 30 days ago. She shoots up, pulls back. Shoots up. Now we're right here. Now, don't get me wrong. It's an interesting place to be if you like DraftKings. Because you make most of your money buying low and selling high. Well, Friday was the low. Well, at 26. But then she ended up at 30. Well, look at the volume in the background. This is the average volume. Here, here, and here. Much higher. Okay. Time to delete. Oh my God, back again. I haven't seen you in a while. Time to delete. Hey, James, I'm wondering, is it easier to set an alert or just to write it down in your notebook? It's easier to write down your notebook. However, your notebook is not going to send a text to your phone. And just set an alert, time to delete. You ready? Watch this. See how my cursor's moving around? Right here, right click. Set an alert. Whoops, sorry. Left click. No, I was right. Right click. Create an alert right there. Just set it for wherever you want. At or above 3162, or okay, at or above, at or below, above the mark. I can choose the mark. Oh, wait a second. What else can I choose? Okay. Now, I can choose the last price, the bid, the ask, the marked, in volume index, front volume, back volume, volume difference, sizzle, close, study. You can do a lot of alerts with Thinkorswim. All you have to do is set one. But it's easier to write it down in your notebook. But I'm pretty sure your notebook's not going to send a text message. All right. Connor, thank you. Saul Goodman. I have no idea who Saul Goodman is. Okay. Antimony. Oh, White Tiger. Antimony, laughing my ass off. Okay, thank you. Frenchie, what's going on? Wesley, how are you? Trey Sean, can I get your perspective on P-Lab? Okay, whenever I say, what the hell is P-Lab? I I didn't know that. PLA is, wait a minute. PLAB. You got to give me the ticker symbol for PLAB. Because PLAB is actually Photronics. So you got to give me the ticker symbol for PLAB. Because this, PLAB, is a monthly. And I don't do monthlies. Monthlies, the numbers just don't work. Okay, Music Matters. Panasonic. You got to give me the ticker symbol. Marcus Aurelius wants to take a look at snow. Aurelius, snow. Okay. What's going on with Snowflake? The high was last week. Now she's dropping like a rock. Okay. 30-day bottom down here, 220. Shoots up to 280. 4 days coming down. I would at least wait for this thing to find a bottom. I'm going to write that one down. Okay, so who came up with that one? Marcus. Marcus, see at the top right there last Monday. Now she's dropping, dropping, dropping. I'd wait for the bottom. Wait for the bottom, turn around, go back up. Oh, down. Oh, Moyad wants to take a look at waste management. Okay, Moyad. I don't do monthlies. November, December, January, March, April, June, September, December. Yeah. I don't do monthlies. Sorry. What best stocks with high dividends? Eduardo. Now, Eduardo, I'm looking at dividend stocks with a high probability of consistent profitability, not a high dividend. I'm not looking for high dividend stocks. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Jamie Howard, futures, past, presents. Thank you there, Jamie. David wants to take a look at Canagra, CAG. Oh, unfortunately, CAG just came up with the bottom on Thursday. Okay, down, up, down, right there. Now she's turning, or is she? This is just one day. I like 2 days to the upside, and then on the third day I'll jump in. So possibly Tuesday. Because if tomorrow's another up day, then I'm relying on Tuesday to be an entry point. If I like Canagra. Okay. Let's go over a few that we came up with last week. Okay, TNXP. Marv, what is TNXP? Tonic Pharmaceuticals. Marv, I don't do monthlies. November, December, March, June. I don't do monthlies. Sorry. What do we have over here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. La 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 la. All right. Haji. Palantir. No. Full Woody. Gotcha. All righty. RB. Key. K-E-Y. Isn't that Key Bank? Oh, Key. Ooh, check that out. Okay. High. The low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going up. She's at 18 right now. 18 is going for 36. But look at that. See, before we get all excited about this, we had this talk the other day. Okay? Although the premium looks good at the money, the 18. If the stock goes down, look at this. One strikeout, you're getting 0.5%. Two strikes out, you're getting 1 penny. Then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, so if you're wrong with Key, you get nothing. And don't get me wrong. Well, that's funny. Yeah, I do get wrong once in a while because I buy a stock, it goes down. Sometimes they go up. Sometimes they go down. It's just the nature of the beast. Stocks only go 3 different ways. Up, down, or nowhere. So if the stock drops, you're looking at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, what I like is something to look like this. Whoops. Look at this. At the money, 215. 3 strikes out. Look at this. 131, 79, 31, 33, 18, 13. 7 strikes out of the money, and you're still getting something. Okay, there's another one. Look, 7 strikes out of the money. You're still getting something. So even though the stock may look good, Key actually looked good. The chart looked very good on Key. Look at that. Up, down. Now she's going up. Well, that's pretty self-evident. Even the 18s are going for 30 cents a share, which is nice. But 0, 0, 0, 0. If you're wrong, you get nothing. So why would I want to pick that? Because if I'm wrong, I get nothing. Uh-oh, KB. Okay, KB, ENB, which is Enbridge. That's going to be a no. ENB. Do monthlies. Okay, monthlies, just no. Full Woody, Intel, INTC. We just did Intel a couple seconds ago. Okay, here's the high, here's the low, basically going nowhere. Okay, she went up, she came right back down to the same trading range. Between 37 and 38. It's not really going anywhere. J-Rod, what's going on? Dr. Wang, dude from Iowa, IBM. Here we go, dude from Iowa. Bottom's way down here, 255, shoots up to 290, drops to 265, back up to 320, back down, and back up again. But Friday was a pullback day. So what is actually happening with IBM? Here's a 30-day top. She's going up this way, challenging that 30-day top. Can she actually get it? Maybe she can. Maybe she can't. Thank you, dude from Iowa. AI won't let me sell IBM. Loves it. Told me to sell Best Buy. Best Buy? BBY? High, low, where was it? Where is it? Up, down, up, sideways, up, down. Okay, so what's going on there? Okay, here's a 30-day bottom, 30-day top, shoots up, now she's pulling back. Okay, sounds right. Let's keep on going. Self, what's going on? Alex is in the house. Simi wants to take a look at Meta. Simi, why do you want to take a look at Meta? What's going on here? Why isn't my